Good afternoon. I'm sorry about the poor lighting in here. I'm still resting in bed after getting out of the hospital. My PCP and my hospital visit both say that I need an MRI, and I'm fighting to get one from comp and not having much luck. But I wanted to give an update on the shooting from what I can understand of what happened that night. It says deputies called to say that they were coming and they didn't expect this ambush. This, I believe, is from a CNN report. I don't know how much you believe all that, but anyhow, 7 officers shot, 1 killed in South Carolina. South Florence, Carolina, CNN, 3 deputies were going to the house to investigate a sexual assault case allegedly involving his son. When they got out of their car, Frederick Hopkins shot them, the officials say. Hopkins, 74, is facing murder and attempted murder charges after authorities say that he shot 7 law enforcement officers Wednesday in Florence, South Carolina. These officers were ambushed very quickly, said Richardson County Sheriff Leon Lott, whose officer is conducting an investigation. As soon as they got there, the ambush was in place. The three Florence County Sheriff deputies went to Hopkins' house to interview his adopted son, 28 years old, Seth Hopkins, as part of an investigation in criminal sexual assault, Lott said. They called ahead and knew someone inside the home was expecting them. They also brought a search warrant with them, Lott said. These officers did absolutely nothing wrong, Lott said. I don't want anybody to think that their procedure was incorrect and that anything that they did was improper. They did not. This was an ambush that you just can't prevent. The Sergeant Terrence Caraway, a 30-year-old veteran from Florence Police Department, who rushed to the scene to provide backup, was killed. 6 other law officers were injured. Frederick Hopkins was formally charged Friday with 1 count of murder and 6 counts of attempted murder in connection with the shooting. Seth Hopkins has also been arrested and charged with criminal sexual conduct in the 2nd degree, Lott said. Sources with the knowledge of the investigation told CNN on Friday that the foster child who lived in the home was the victim of an alleged sexual assault, but authorities did not address the issue Friday. Both men are being held at the Alvin S. Glenn Detention Center in Richland County and have been denied bail. CNN affiliates WBTW in Florence reported. Frederick Hopkins was disbarred as an attorney in 1984, 4 years after he got his law license. According to the records, he was ordered to pay $18,000 to the Lexington County Court, an amount said to be equal to the sum of the wrongfully collected attorney fees. He was charged in 2014 with disorderly conduct in a traffic incident and ordered to pay a fine, court records show. Hopkins and his wife have 9 adopted children. A woman who said she was a longtime family friend told the state newspaper. Officials did not provide details about how many children were in the house at the time of the shooting. The Florence County Solicitor E. L. Clemens III told reporters A hearing was held Friday in family court regarding the emergency protective custody for the youth. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble seeing here every now and then. I'm still having dizziness and some issues with my comp case that I'm not getting much luck at the moment. Hopefully I will have some more answers by Friday when I see my PCP, but I do go for my first physical therapy on Monday this coming week, which is awesome. Some officials in critical condition. 3 days have passed since the shooting, and several law enforcement officers remain hospitalized. I'm sorry for getting off the topic. I diverted. 2 sheriff's deputies are in critical condition, Chief Deputy Glenn Kirby said, and the third is in stable condition. One Florence police officer, Scott Williamson, is still receiving treatment. Officials said 2 other police officers were released Wednesday night. The Richland County Sheriff's Officer identified the injured officers in a statement Friday. The injured deputies were investigating Sarah Miller and Farrah Turner and Deputy Aries Davis. It's unclear whether authorities have determined why officers were fired on when they arrived at the house. This is a very large, complex puzzle that we're filing the pieces in piece by piece. What, why, and who, Lott told reporters Friday. The investigation is ongoing, he said. The FBI is helping to process the crime scenes. Blood-soaked evidence lies in the ground after officers were shot on Wednesday. Slain officer was a gentle giant. The city official lauded Caraway as a man with a steady temper and a deep commitment to his community. Florence Police Chief Alan Hyder fought back tears Thursday as he recalled the slain sergeant as a good friend and the bravest police officers he's ever known. Caraway started a monitoring program for disadvantaged youth called Camp Fever, Hyder said. He said he had a passion for kids, to see kids improve, to see kids in impoverished areas have the opportunity to do the right thing might not have the opportunity to do, Hyder said. He was a giant of a man, but he was a proverbial gentle giant, and I loved him. An autopsy was performed at Medical University, South Carolina in Charleston, WBTW reported. Caraway's pastor, Reverend Seal Bromey of the First Baptist Church of Florence, said that there would be a public viewing of the officer from 9 to 11 a.m. on Monday at Florence Center at the memorial service at noon. I'd love to go to pay my respects, but I have to be at therapy then, so I won't be able to make it. Unfortunately, I had lost my health insurance, so this hospital bill is going to cost me. I had already been there 3 days 5 years ago and didn't have insurance. I just recently lost it. My husband had a job who was carrying the insurance, and they had promised him a better position. 5.5 months later, they decided that the position wasn't opened and there was no other available positions. My poor husband used to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and was able to be home by 2:30. But they had told him, well, he basically said if they had left it at that, he would have stayed, but they told him that if he thought he needed more money, he should go get a part-time job. 57-year-old man, 57-year-old man working 40 hours a week apparently wasn't enough for them. So he made a phone call, and a week later he put in his 2 weeks notice. Then he worked 2 full-time jobs to get his personal time off payment, otherwise he wouldn't have received that. And then they didn't even pay him all. They owed him $1,500, and he got a $500 check. He's now fighting that. I'll see what goes from here. Hopefully therapy will help me move my neck a little better and my spine. I hit the floor pretty hard at Food Lion, slipping in the back of a tractor trailer, trying to unload a 2,000-pound pallet. But what's another bill compared to your health? God bless, brothers and sisters. I ask you to keep these families in your prayers, especially those that have lost their members. And have a blessed day.